the #1 fastest growing criminal enterprise in the world. I have been involved in the enforcement part of this industry, both here in Michigan, in Genesee County, but also internationally. Through Mexico and Haiti, I realized back in 2018 that we've got an issue here, and it's not independent of an urban environment where I come from, but it's everywhere. And so we were able to put teams together to go out and start a rescue operation in 2018. And one of the final rescues that we had, of all the people that we knew that nobody knew where they existed, one was actually housed in her bathroom, sleeping in a tub. She was 15 years old. Her trafficker was pimping her out on a daily basis. And in that time, it clicked to our agency that we need to take this serious. It's way different than prostitution, which is bad in and of itself. But human trafficking is the movement of humans for the sex slave industry. Human trafficking, by definition, anybody 17 or under the age of consent, that is involved in commercial sex is, by definition, being trafficked. Anybody who comes to have sex with an underage boy or girl is engaged in human trafficking. In fact, those participants, those that actually come to the scenes, which you're about to hear, some incredible, compelling stories in your neighborhood, those people who answer the ads to have sex with kids that are either decoys or real are involved in human trafficking. And so the reason I'm here is because we were able to do some very successful operations in Flint. And we formed a team called GHOST, Genesee Human Oppression Strike Team. And being a sheriff and working with law enforcement around the state, it only made sense to reach out to the colleagues through the Michigan Sheriff Association and say, sheriffs, how about joining with your local police agencies? And we have developed a playbook that I know our community has benefited, I know the people of Michigan and around the country has benefited, and we can do our part stopping human trafficking. We already know there's education, there's awareness, there's great aftercare, but we have to be the enforcers. We have to save these individuals. We have to find who comes to have sex with these young kids, because most of them have no criminal history. 9 out of 10 of them have never had any brush with the law, but they yet are coming to have sex with kids. I say that because this briefing is going to be hard. It's going to be difficult to hear the details. But I here, as a sheriff, to let you know that the citizens of these counties represented are in great hands. Not only hands of trusted individuals that you've elected as sheriffs or people that are involved in police agencies, but moms and dads and teachers and churches out there. You've got some incredible, incredible operators that now on the west side of the state have made a decision to form and formally find out where these predators lurk. And one of those is Sheriff Miller. Sheriff Miller and I have been in negotiations and conversations for months and months. We brought our team here. We showed them what to do. We worked together hand in hand. You wouldn't know what patch we wore and what we didn't do. You would know where we came from. And I'm here to tell you that they've had some incredible success protecting your kids. So I'm going to come back in just a little bit, but I'd love for you to hear from Sheriff Miller, from your county, and what your sheriffs are doing, because it's going to let you sleep a little bit better tonight. Sheriff Miller.
Good afternoon. I appreciate everybody coming on the short notice that we gave. I'll first go around, introduce each of the other gentlemen that are up here with me, and I'll talk about the operation that we did locally, and then I'll turn it over to Sheriff Mendham from Newaygo County. To my left here is Sheriff Michael Main from the Isabella County Sheriff's Office. Next to him is Captain Gary Green from the Fair State University Department of Public Safety. Next to him is Acting Chief Ryan Myers of the Big Rapids Department of Public Safety. Moving down the line is Sheriff Mark Kuhl from the Osceola County Sheriff's Office. Sheriff Mike Williams from the Montcalm County Sheriff's Office. And Sheriff Bob Mendham from the Newaygo County Sheriff's Office. How did we all come to be here? As Sheriff Swanson talked about, some months back we had an undersheriff's, a new sheriff's conference, and during that time he presented, and I thought, human trafficking. I knew the problem that we had and wanted to move forward with it. A couple months later, I reached out to each of the sheriffs here with me and said, we're all dealing with the same people. We all butt up against each other. Let's work together. And each one of them agreed, and we began moving forward with looking at having our own human trafficking task force. With that, reached out to Sheriff Swanson and his team from Genesee County, why recreate the wheel. Reached out to them. They came up on July 15th of this year and gave us some guidance. Through that operation that we did here locally, which was assisted by Ferris State University Department of Public Safety and the Big Rapids Department of Public Safety, we arrested 3 individuals through this sting. One being Sonaj Azard, who is from Grand Rapids, 30 years old. He's a laborer. Came to Big Rapids looking to have sexual relations with a 14, 15-year-old female. Second, Jeffrey Webb. Jeffrey Webb is from Lakeview in Montcalm County. Is a general manager of a furniture distribution business. And like Azard, came to Mecosta County looking to have sexual relations with a 14 or 15-year-old female. And lastly, Quinn Rasmussen, 46 years old, works in a shop from Big Rapids, our own county. Came to that location looking to have sexual relations with a 15-year-old female. Sad that this goes on, but we are all looking to make that difference here. Something is not the first time for one of these individuals. Through a past investigation, one of these individuals' name had come up as a person looking for sexual relations with somebody. So just, it goes on and something we need to address as a team. I'll turn the mic over to Sheriff Mendham, and he can speak to you further about another operation we did together.
Thank you, Sheriff Miller. Bob Mendham, Sheriff of Newaygo County. And I'd like to echo Sheriff Miller's sentiments here. Without the assistance of Sheriff Swanson, Genesee County, we would all be trying to reinvent a wheel that didn't need to be reinvented. And because of those folks, we are here today. So we thank you very much. And I'm sure that the victims feel the same. Last night, Tuesday, August 24th, 2021, in the city of Fremont, Newaygo County, we also ran a sting similar to the one that Mecosta County had run. We were able to arrest 3 subjects during this sting operation. One was a 34-year-old male from Muskegon County, the city of Muskegon actually, that came to Fremont. Second was a 23-year-old man from Twin Lake, also in Muskegon County. And the last was a 33-year-old man from Cedar Springs, which is in Kent County. The interesting thing about that gentleman is he was already on the sex offender registry. All 3 of those subjects have been lodged in the Newaygo County Jail. They are pending arraignment, so I'm not able to give you any further background information on them at this time. I can't tell you how proud I am of the fact that these counties, we had people from Montcalm, Isabella, Mecosta counties there to assist us. We also had members of the Fremont Police Department and the Central Michigan Enforcement Team there. All of us working together. At one point, I was told there was 18 people, all in one hotel room working together. And it was smooth, seamless, and an outstanding operation. No one got hurt, and 3 bad guys went to jail. So thank you to all of you that were involved, and I will now turn it over to Sheriff Mike Williams.
Thank you. I'm Mike Williams with Montcalm County. I just kind of wanted to touch on our involvement and how we were able to do this. In 2020, our citizens voted on a law enforcement millage. Prior to that, because of cuts within our county, we wouldn't have had the resources to be able to dedicate to this type of operation. So because of that, and because that millage was passed, we were able to take part in this and to help, because each of our individual agencies in and of themselves don't really have the resource to do this alone. So us acting together, I think really benefited the operation, and it enabled us to take these people off the street. 6 people now in 2 operations. these people are coming from not only in my county or in some of the other surrounding counties, they'll travel wherever. So it's important to recognize that we need to work together, and we need to make sure that because the criminals don't necessarily observe county lines or city limits, that we need to be able to participate in these operations together to stop human trafficking in West Michigan and throughout the state and nation, really. And thank you, Sheriff Swanson, really taking the lead with the sheriffs and bringing us together. And Sheriff Miller as well. I think you were probably the catalyst in the group for getting this going. Aside from that, I will turn it over to, which sheriff are we? Sheriff Cool. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Sheriff Cool, Osceola County. I'd just like to thank Sheriff Swanson for bringing us this plan. Thank the other sheriffs here that are letting me be a part of this team. Being a part of this proactive operation is one of the reasons why I became sheriff. It's one of the things I wanted to do as sheriff. This is just the beginning. As we move forward, we're going to prevent further victims from being involved in this. So thank you again.
I don't have a whole lot to add from what my colleagues said. I just want to let the community know that we are united. We are working towards protecting your children and ours. And for anybody out there who thinks that this is acceptable behavior, we are united. We're coming for you.
Thank you, sheriffs, and to the communities. I want to use this last bit before we sign off to educate. And whether it's a believable world out there or not, it exists. And what you heard was one of many operations that we do to identify people that seek to exploit young kids. This is not the first time that they did this. We know this from our interviews. We work with the prosecutor's office in every county. The prosecutor's office in the counties that you heard from are embedded with us. We work with the state police, the FBI. This is a family of enforcers. We don't demean the people, we protect victims. National stats will tell you that one predator identified saves the lives of 25 future victims. So the west side of the state, arresting 6, has potentially protected 150 victims. That's a big number. And as the sheriff mentioned, there are no boundaries. I've traveled plenty of times to the west side of the state on vacation. I go from Flint to the Upper Peninsula. I go to other parts of Michigan, and so do predators. So to think that it's just in someone else's county or city, that is not the case. They want you to think that. I want you to know that this algorithm of education and awareness, this is why we do these briefings. We want parents and grandparents and teachers. We want people, we want friends to talk about this. They just don't show up. We use social media just like everybody else watching does. And they find vulnerability. They find people who seek attention or are trying to go into the model business. They use TikTok and Instagram. They use different apps and sites out there. So your call to action now is to educate yourself. Go online and learn. How do they do this? How do they form? There are so many resources out there. The Polaris Project, OUR. You can follow what we're doing here in the sheriff's office. We want people to be aware it's out there before they're victimized. The awareness part of it, you got to keep it front and center. You got to talk about it. It's something that's, I said, very difficult. If you saw and listened to the chats that these agencies did, disgusting. The chatters, they can't unhear and unsee what they've seen and heard. Your law enforcement that is brought together to protect victims that they'll never know. That's why we do these operations. And when we show pictures like this, we don't do it for any other reason than to let the community know these are the people that are among you. And there's a victim out there, because we've seen it in Genesee County. We've arrested 134 predators. And we've had plenty of people that have saw a picture where they know now law enforcement has held them accountable, because remember, 9 out of 10 of them, no contact. They saw that picture, they came forward and said, he did it to me. And because there's no statute of limitations on CSC 1, we've had people in their 20s and 30s come back and say, when I was a kid, he raped me. We want to give victims a voice. And if you're out there right now and you've never had the peace that you deserve, then use this moment and use the courage of these sheriffs to come forth. We will protect you. We are united as a community, not just as a sheriff's office or a police department, but as law enforcement. We will protect you. We have civil services out there that will give you a forensic interview and give you the platform that you need to tell your story. There's churches and schools that can help you. There's so many resources, but you deserve freedom. You deserve to be heard. So it's an honor to be here. I thank all the members and those that have invested in Ghost and continue to follow. I hope that these interviews that we do continue to build a defense so they don't ever show up. But we've done dozens and dozens and dozens of operations. We've not had one where they don't show. So we're going to continue to do our part. We need you in the community to do your part. Support your sheriff, support your police chief, support those that are out there fighting, support your social services that are out there, your DHHSs, your churches, those that give them a voice. And that's how we're going to combat this. It's not one of us, it's all of us. So as a sheriff of Genesee County, it's been an honor to be here. We've got more work to do. Stay tuned. You've got a great team out here at Westside. Your sheriffs hear you, and they're protecting your people. I know there's some individual interviews that we're going to do, but as of this briefing, thank you very much. Have a pleasant, safe day.
We do appreciate everybody's time today. If you do have questions, and would like to speak to one of us individually, we can do that to the side. Otherwise, so have yourself a good day and stay cool.